Hey everyone, ArdrethShadow here, and welcome to Doki Doki Fallen Angel. So previously, I got to starting this legendary mod, and I want to clear up a few things I said in the previous video. And okay, Joey's waking up. No, that's not what I wanted. So in the last video I said that I was going to be saving before each answer choice because I wanted to avoid getting any kind of bad ending or whatever, or an ending that I didn't intend to get. This is actually not the case. These choices do not really affect the ending whatsoever. They're just there to kind of provide some more like variations in the dialogue, but do not affect the main story and the main ending whatsoever. There's only one ending in this mod. However, though, I'm still going to be more or less doing the same thing because I do intend to show off all of these variations in dialogue near the end of the project. So, yes, so I was operating under the assumption that there were possibly multiple endings due to the answer choices being present. But anyway, so now we've met with Yuri. I have a feeling that Monica is going to be Ice Queen Witch 2.0 in this game. I have a strong suspicion of it. And yes, MC is clearly head over heels for Yuri. They just got back from getting some tea ready, and now they are going to be reading against the wall because Yuri has bad reading posture. I'll go get the book. I retrieved the book from my bag. I have some chocolate. No, I had it right the first time. I have some chocolate as well. What's your favorite candy bar, son? Mine's chocolate. It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I kept hidden from Sayori's candy radar. I take it since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? I don't know. I always found Yuri cute since the moment I laid eyes on her, but when she's being less apprehensive, I feel like my heart is about to burst. Your teacup. It's like, I'm ready to blow a gasket now. Yuri hands me my teacup. I'm gonna blow a gasket and have a meltdown right in this club room. Oh, thanks. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. Because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her posture. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears an intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I call upon every reserve of my willpower in order to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. Luna, run! Run, Lena! Keanu shouts at me. I run as fast as I can. I hit something solid and fall on my back. Upon impact, the back of my head collides with the earth. My head begins to throb uncontrollably. I try to see what I ran into. A guard appears before me. He gazes down at me with a sinister smile. He then motions to another guard and shouts something foreign. Get off me! Okay, fine. Get off me! I hear Keanu yell from several yards behind me. I try desperately to see what's going on. Suddenly, I remember I have chocolate with me. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's
That's okay, I won't take any.
Huh? Are you sure?
Well, if I touch it, then I might get smudges on the pages.
Ah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad.
No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay?
Are you sure?
Of course.
Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time from reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. My brain is short-circuiting at this point. Mark.exe has stopped working. In that case, Yuri has already been dragged back into her book. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate, and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if this situation was completely natural. What the hell am I supposed to do here? What do you think you're supposed to do here? You're supposed to get up and do a dance tribute to Carrie Underwood. I don't know. I can't stop now. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Well, I mean, let's face it, I'd be nervous as all hell too, so... Fine, I'll give you a pass. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it.
Huh?
I always love this. I think she just looks so adorable. Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. I'm so flustered and thinking she's adorable that my tongue stopped working.
Did I just...
Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Yes, you did indeed take the chocolate.
Mark...
Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. One of these days I will hold a conversation with the girl without making a fool of myself.
That's... Well... you were just helping. That's something that friends do.
'Cause that's what friends do. 'Cause that's what friends do.
Right?
I mean, not really in this kind of context, but yeah, this is more like something a husband and wife would do. Yeah, that's all it was.
Yeah. Then... you don't need to stop or anything.
I see. At this point, I can hear my own heart racing, and it's about to shoot right out of my chest. Yuri tries to return to the book, but even I can tell just by her expression that even she can't focus now, because you flustered the poor girl. I'm in too deep to stop now. Deeper and deeper, and I'm constantly blinded. Damn it. I guess for those of you... well, I doubt anyone knows what song I'm quoting. It's Ready for Love by Cascada. And yeah, another Cascada song. And reference from me.
You got me deeper than deep, and I'm constantly blinded. I'm running around, but there's no place to hide. I start to talk in my sleep. Our souls are divided. Why can't they forgive me? These demons inside. Deeper than deep.
And it's weird because I haven't heard that song in forever, and I'm thinking... like, yeah, I'm deeper and deeper, and I'm constantly blinded. And that's all I remember from that song, really. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers. I start to place it in my mouth. But this time, Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? You knew this was coming, Pete! Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. Her lavender eyes pierce through mine. I notice her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breaths. I have half the chocolate sticking out of my mouth. I lean my face towards Yuri. It's as if both of us are in a trance. Our faces growing ever so closer. The rest of the world is gone. It's just me and Yuri in the single moment of time, and okay, everyone! And here comes the Ice Queen.
Ah!
Man, it's like, Mark, you turned into Yuri for a moment. Ah! In my panic, I accidentally inhaled the chocolate. I started to cough uncontrollably while the other members just stare pitifully. Natsuki's probably there like, yeah, that's what kind of person he is. So pitiful. Or, no, we need the Asuka meme of her being pathetic. I gulped down the rest of Yuri's tea to wash down the chocolate. And I was like, I was gonna choke to death and all you were doing was just staring, watching me. You were smiling at that the whole time. And yeah, I'm just picturing Natsuki being like Asuka, like pathetic.
It's time to share poems. Mark, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right?
Yeah, of course. Even though I just nearly died.
Okay, thanks.
Stupid sexy Monica. The spell is abruptly broken, thanks to stupid sexy Monica.
I'll take care of the cups.
Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. Once I calm down from my near-death experience, I pick up the bag of chocolates. Okay, you see, I feel like I don't know you guys. Well, I guess I'm speaking now to the people who made this mod, but you guys seem to have like a similar sense of humor to me as well as writing style. So, I almost feel like if we could have met, I think we would have gotten along pretty well. Anyway, so in the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling that this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. Show and tell time. Okay, it's not even going to give us the choice. Ready to take a look at my poem today?
Of course. I'm eager to see how you have improved.
I wouldn't exactly say I have improved, but we'll see what happens. I hand Yuri my poem. Mr. Fingers, despite bitter judgment, despite what you know, eternity is encased in a rusty cage. No one can leave, no one can be free. The feeling of rust on the fingertips, like rusty spoons, it's almost the horror of the sound of rusty spoons on a rusty cage. Scraping, scraping, scrape, as contamination washes over the desolate landscape. The birds chirping turn to cries of men. The howling wind turns to the screams of children. The rustling leaves turns to deafening silence. Silence is all there is in a rusty cage, except when the silence is broken by a rusty spoon. Actually, yes. I feel like I could literally read all of his poems in that Christopher Walken voice. Or, well, the Christopher Walken-ish voice. Because, yeah, from this other cartoon that had someone kind of doing the same kind of voice. Whereas, like, I had that dream where I was surrounded in darkness. Nothing but maggots all around me. And the screams, the terrible screams. I would like to play the part of the Grim Reaper, the Keeper of Souls. Oh, right.
Mark.
I really hope Yuri doesn't figure out I wrote this poem down in one go. Well, I mean, for doing it in one go, that's actually pretty impressive, I have to say. And like I said, it seriously sounds good and very ominous when I do the Christopher Walken voice, for some reason. I have no idea how to use symbolism or anything. Well, I don't know, I get the feeling of desolation from that. Literally everything in my poem is just scrambled words put together to pretend to have meaning. Well, if it's scrambled together, you scrambled it together very well. Because seriously, it is pretty damn depressing. Like, the feeling of imprisonment, desolation, the sense of no hope, just agony and death. You see? Constant agony and death all around me. Yuri's a very perceptive reader, though. This isn't good. She's gonna find out I bullshitted my poem.
This poem is phenomenal.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? What?
If I had to guess, dissecting this poem, I can see a lot of symbolism.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, the sound of leaves turning to death, and then basically the other sounds turning into screams of agony. It's like, exactly, that pretty much goes hand in hand with symbolism, and what I think of symbolism. Or think of as symbolism.
At first glance, it may appear as if the writer had no idea what they were doing.
It's funny you say that. She hit the nail on the head right there. See, like, you guys use a lot of the same expressions that I do. It's like, my god, I feel like seriously, I found my people.
But diving further into it, the way you describe the rest cage and spoon, and the use of auditory examples.
Yes, the use of auditory examples. That's what really kind of seals the deal here. It adds to that ominous, hopeless feeling.
Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but this poem is describing the mind of someone with schizophrenia, right?
Okay, I can kind of see that. Yes, I think I can kind of see that now. And now I'm starting to wonder if, in that cartoon, did that character have schizophrenia? But was it just downplayed? Like, heavily downplayed the whole time? Oh dear.
The cage representing the mind. The rusty spoon symbolize the sporadic thoughts that pound on one's brain. And the horrid sounds show the hallucination one hears and sees.
What the fuck? Yeah, Yuri! Clearly, that's exactly what I was going for. How perceptive of you! I knew I could count on you to figure out what I was going for. That's exactly what I wanted to convey when writing it.
Your poem is indescribable, but in a good way. How did you manage to pick up on these techniques so quickly?
Thanks, Yuri. Although I'm sure it's nothing in comparison to what you wrote.
You flatter me, Mark. However, you shouldn't cut yourself short.
The funny lady has spoken.
With more practice, you will be able to display to the reader your innermost thoughts.
I don't know, Yuri. The inner... Seriously. I seriously think I found my people. The inner mechanism... I'm gonna butcher the line. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. If you didn't at least picture that, then... yeah, you obviously have not seen this. Anyways, please continue.
Yes. As I was saying previously, you shouldn't be afraid to be more daring with your work. Rather than writing down your thoughts, write down what you see and hear.
That sounds like a good exercise, Yuri. Maybe I'll try it out. Yeah, it actually kind of reminds me of... well... I guess so. I forgot for what reason exactly, but when I was younger, my mom used to try to give me like writing prompts and ideas to follow to kind of improve my writing. And then, based on what she told me to do, like whatever prompt that was, I would write an essay about it. And then I'd hand it in to her, and then she would kind of like quote-unquote grade it based on how she thought that I did, and to kind of give me pointers on how I could improve in my writing, since my mom was actually, at least according to what I do remember, she apparently was very good with creative writing. And then at some point in our school's UIL, I was almost going to be in a creative writing team, twice in fact. Although the first year I couldn't do it since it conflicted with number sense. And then the second year I couldn't do it because it conflicted with the science UIL, and at that point I was like one of the, I guess, sort of star players, and they needed me. Well, I say that using sports analogies, but point being, it's kind of ironic that I tried to get into creative writing, but something always stopped me. Yet my mom was kind of there to kind of help nurture my writing abilities. Because, well, she knew, I guess it's because she kind of saw some potential with my writing. So, I guess you could say that it's thanks to her that I was able to kind of get better, and I grew to love writing. Alright, anyways, maybe I'll try it out.
I have an example of that, if you'd maybe want to.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. Like I said, here we go again with my inner English teacher-ish voice talking to me again. I'd love to read it. Yuri smiles dreamily and hands me her poem. Okay, well, I'm not gonna read it in the Christopher Walken voice. The raccoon. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scattering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an inordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences, well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity. The raccoon, an urge. Okay, was the poem always like this? I hate that my memory is so bad, but I'm almost wondering because I don't remember the poem exactly spelling it out for you like this. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions on the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood. Classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed myself again. So yeah, I think most of you all know by now, kind of have the idea of it is epic foreshadowing to Yuri's strange tendencies. Which is why I'm here, like, I don't remember the poem, like, spelling it out for you exactly, because, you see, it literally tells you, like, the cutting knife is the symptom. The bread represents her curiosity, which is, well, and the raccoon is the urge she has to cut the bread, if you catch my drift.
I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's.
I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. Maybe I'm just dense, but I don't even have the slightest clue as to what this poem is supposed to mean. Well, I do, but then I'm not a dense anime protagonist with my head full of sawdust.
That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style. Using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them.
Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Okay, well, that's actually a good save here. Like, yeah, if you take it at face value, which you are. Which kind of segues into Yuri maybe talking more about her thought process.
Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sorts of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So I sometimes enjoy writing about them.
Why do you keep them to yourself?
Because they're embarrassing. And people would make fun of me.
Do you really think that, Yuri? Yuri nods slowly. Yeah, well, as I mentioned in the last episode, I got bullied and teased a lot for being weird. And I didn't really, like, I would keep my interests, like, to myself because it's like, well, I'm already being bullied just for living and breathing and going to the same school as everybody. Much less do I want them to bully me because I like something that they think is stupid or whatever. Which is why I was surprised when one day I met this guy about a year older than I was, and he just started talking to me randomly about Sailor Moon. I'm like, oh my god, I remember Sailor Moon, and that was kind of what rekindled my enjoyment of Sailor Moon. Because I wanted to, like, go back, because I was just here like, oh my god, I remember watching all that and enjoying it, and so it was like, you know, I just really enjoyed that, so, like, it made me feel like, for at least that one day, like, I was able to be myself and not get judged for liking Sailor Moon. Which, as I mentioned, like, I had a strong feeling that if my father had ever found out about that, then he would have been, like, all up in arms and being like, no, that's for girls, you're a boy, you're gonna be a man someday, you can't be liking girl stuff, whatever, whatever, and yeah, I look at that now and I'm here like, yeah, how close-minded can you be? But of course, I'm not gonna go into my father much, I've already gone into him in plenty of other videos. Okay, well, I suppose I can't speak for everyone, but I want you to know that no matter how strange your hobbies may be, I would never judge you based off them.
You don't really mean that.
Of course I do. Everyone has their own weird hobbies that they may not want to share. Plus, it's not like you're doing anything dangerous, right? Right. Right. I mean, I know I have a lot of guilty pleasures I'm embarrassed about.
I feel like everyone has a little something like that.
Yeah, like for a while, listening to Cascada's music was technically a guilty pleasure. Like, especially in middle school, I would never have admitted to that, especially since, like, what friends I did have left would usually, like, make fun of the song, like... Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna tell you all the story about the first time I ever heard Cascada, so I guess gather round, children, and listen to my story. So, math class, 7th grade, at least I think it was, yeah. Our teacher would usually put on the radio whenever we would do math problems in problem sets. One day, this song comes on, and I just remember that I really loved the singer's voice, and how upbeat, and, like, you know, I just loved the sound of it. And, well, when walking out of that room, a lot of the guys I would talk to were talking about how annoying that song was. And then when they look at me and I'm here like, oh great, I have to say something. I just told them, Like, yeah, and I can't get that darn song out of my head, and they just agree. They were like, yeah, agreeing with me, like, yeah, it's like stuck in your head. So, I mean, I wasn't really lying. But, yeah, I just didn't want to say, like, I like the song, because it's like, oh great, what happens if I say I like the song? What are they gonna think? Am I gonna lose what little friends I do have left? So, yeah, I pretty much just kept that to myself. And granted, like, I was eventually bullied for that a bit in high school. Well, kinda, sort of. I was mostly bullied online for liking Cascada. But then, well, that was how I met Maddie, and, well, I've kind of told that story before. The rest is history. Let's see, I feel like everyone has a little something like that.
The best we can do is respect each other the best we can do is respect each other and our individualities.
Exactly. Like, especially in the original DDLC, when Yuri was kind of talking about that, I was like, my god, I found someone who, like, understands the way I feel. Because exactly, like, the way I see it, I mean, as long as you're not doing anything wrong and you're not hurting someone, whether it be other people or yourself, then... or at least within reason, it's like... then there should be... like, why would you go out of your way to make fun of someone for liking something? Like, maybe it might seem weird to you, but... you know, I mean... it's like... exactly, as long as they're not, like, doing anything dangerous or harmful to anybody, then... you know, just... I guess what am I trying to say? Like, leave them be. You know, like, what's the problem? I might think it's kind of strange, but like I said, to each their own. And I guess that's why some people kind of look at me as like being non-judgmental. But I guess that's mostly because I've been on the receiving end of being judged for who I am. So that's why, in a sense, like, I would not... at least, I would intentionally not want to make it sound like, oh great, well, so you're into this, and I think it's weird and whatever, and like, sound like a total jerk. I might not understand it, but it's like, exactly, to each their own. As long as, well, like I keep saying, as long as you're not hurting anyone or doing anything dangerous, then at the very least, and like I said, as long as it's within reason, then, you know.
Even if it's difficult sometimes and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself.
Yeah, here we go. This is the quote right here. For the longest time I tried to, like, fit in and sort of, like, mask my own weirdness, so to say. I hated that. I felt miserable. Like, I would try to dress up like all the other kids would, and like, I hated that. I felt like a fool. So then I was like, nope, screw this. I want to be me. Because that's the only person I know how to be.
I might be ranting a little bit now.
Trust me, it's nothing compared to what I was ranting about just a while ago.
But I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things.
Oh.
Writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you, Mark.
One of a kind. That's exaggerating a little bit.
It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing. But now I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for that.
I try to hide the fact that I'm starting to blush. It's nothing, really. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. Oh. Well then. Once again, that's everyone. and nothing of any relative importance happened whatsoever. After yesterday, I felt it was a bit easier to share my poem today. After all, anything would be a big improvement from the poem I wrote for yesterday. On the other side of the room, Sayori is talking to Natsuki.
Wait, so he didn't kill him because their mothers are both named Martha?
How do you know that name?
Yep.
That's lazy writing, don't you think?
Yep, that's what a lot of people thought. And then, of course, when Doomsday comes in and kills Superman... Oops, spoilers, I'm sorry. You can tell how much I'm disappointed by that. Oh boy. Oh no. The exit music flashbacks are coming again. As I pan my eyes down the room, they stop on Yuri and Monica, who are sharing their poems.
It looks like Yuri is trying to apologize.
Oh my god. Yeah, when you start saying something like this, I'm here like, oh my god, this can only go
A few different ways.
most of them being bad.
Yuri, let me tell you something.
Monica leans into Yuri's ear. Yep, that way we don't hear what she says.
Do you understand? Yes.
Yuri nods timidly. What was that about? I can take a few guesses. Especially since, yeah, I'm really starting to feel like my hunch is correct here. Well, at least I did kind of spoil a bit of the mod upon trying to look up info to see like how many endings there were. And the consensus says that my hints and theories about Monica being Ice Queen Witch 2.0 is correct. I begin to walk over, but Monica grabs everyone's attention.
Okay, everyone. I believe that concludes the poem sharing for today. Monica, I have to go early so I can catch up on homework. Is that okay? Sure, Sayori. See you later. Bye!
Sayori waves goodbye and skips off. Well, I guess we're not walking home today.
I have to go too. My dad is making dinner and I have to be there on time.
Natsuki leaves without saying anything else. I don't like where this is going. Monica goes behind the teacher desk to do club president stuff, I suppose. I guess that just leaves Yuri and me. And Monica, she's still in the room. You're not out of the woods yet. I walk up to her. Hey, Yuri. Oh, she's so happy. Is everything alright? Is there something you want to tell me?
I gotta go do something!
I guess her cakes will burn. Yuri rushes out of the room clinging to her backpack. Yep, I have a feeling that Monica definitely told her something that has her on edge. Most likely something like, stay away from my man. Well, that was odd. I turn around to stare at Monica. Okay, let's see, what is she going to do? Hey, Monica? She looks up from her stacks of paper.
Is there something you need, Mark? Like me?
Do you know what's going on with Yuri?
She's a strange one, isn't she? And it's totally not because I threatened her. No siree. Not that there's anything wrong with that, mind you.
Yeah, but she seems to be acting stranger than normal.
Well, maybe you should just ignore her. Like I told you the first time we met.
Or, well, the first day they met. Ignore her?
Yuri isn't used to being around new people.
So, I just shouldn't talk to her?
Yep, that's exactly what I told you on the first day. No. It's okay to make some light talk, but just don't get too attached. Yuri has a way of being a bit obsessive when it comes to these things.
Now I'm really lost. I have no idea what she's talking about. I have some ideas. I don't know if this means we're going to be seeing Demon Yuri at all, but we'll see. I don't think I'm following.
Look, Mark. Just don't get too close to Yuri, alright? Get close to me instead. I mean, you can always spend time with me, and only me.
I begin to blush.
Did Monica, the class star, just ask me to spend time with her?
Yep. A lot of guys would kill to be in your situation right now. I shake the thought out of my head.
Bad thoughts! Bad thoughts!
I don't know. I feel Yuri and I have been getting along rather well.
I'm gonna have to put a stop to that then.
What was that? Monica?
You don't really know Yuri, though, do you?
I mean, sure, she's mysterious, but I think I'm learning more and more about her each day. Imagine what would happen if I learned so much more about her. Our friendship could probably blossom into something that you totally will hate. Also, earlier Monica whispered something in Yuri's ear that seemed to really bother her. What did you tell Yuri earlier?
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do you mean?
I've got eyes! I saw everything!
I saw you whisper something to Yuri and...
Oh, don't worry about that. It totally wasn't a threat, I promise. It was just some girl stuff.
Oh, like makeup and whatever. Well, please. Well, we all know. Like I said, I'm pretty sure we know where this is going. There's something that she's not telling me. For extra measures, yes. But I'd be dreaming if I thought I'd be able to get information out of Monica.
Is there anything else you need, Mark?
I guess not.
Awesome. Well, if you don't mind, I have some club president stuff to do. I have to do.
I guess this is how Monica not so subtly asks me to leave. Alright. Bye, Monica.
Bye, sweetheart.
What'd you call me?
No, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything about wanting to marry you.
Girl stuff. Yes. Clearly. Like makeup and whatever. Yuri seemed really bothered by whatever Monica told her. It must have been really unnerving. Yuri completely ignored me and rushed out the room. Perhaps I'm overthinking this. No, I'm with you on this one. And what was that? And what was that Monica was saying about Yuri being obsessive over these things? That's what I want to know. Because clearly this is taking place during Act 1 of the original DLC, right? We don't see Demon Yuri, as I call her, until Act 2, when Monica starts screwing with everyone's heads. Well, specifically, like making Yuri and Natsuki's bad qualities, like, amplified. What does she even mean by these things? And what does she mean by obsessive? I feel Yuri and I have gotten fairly close, and I'm starting to actually understand her. Or perhaps she's only showing me what she wants me to see. Well... yeah, now you have me thinking here. Well, hopefully... well... or maybe she's only just showing you glimpses of her true self, as she feels comfortable doing so. So in a sense, maybe she is trying to show you what she wants you to see. Deep down, she wants you to see the actual real Yuri. But she's just too afraid to outright be the true Yuri because, well, she's so shy and timid around everybody, and she feels like everyone is going to judge her for it. This is getting me nowhere. I can't focus on anything else except Yuri. I need to clear my mind. Perhaps writing a poem will help. I mean, you gotta do that anyways. Okay, and then nothing of any relative importance happened whatsoever. Well, the school day's over. Time to head to the literature club. There was an odd tension in the air yesterday. I want to talk to Yuri to clear things up. I don't care if Monika told me to stay away from her. Yeah, screw you, Monika. I'm not going to stay away from the summoner. It's obvious something's bothering her, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I arrive in front of the door. Before I open it, I can hear muffled shouting from the other side. Yep, like I said, I'm really starting to get exit music flashbacks. Except I don't think I'm gonna see Natsuki running out of the room crying or whatever. What the? I hastily open the door. Oh dear. Oh my god, this is not...
Monika, I'm sorry for disrespecting you. I don't want your apology. Ever since you joined this club, you've been toxic. You sit at your desk, face shoved in a book, and don't communicate with any of us. You outcast yourself and take up space. You know there's a thing called a library, right, Yuri? So if you're gonna come just to read and isolate yourself, you can do it there. What do you say to that, Yuri?
Yuri exhales sharply.
I think you're a total bitch. You have no right to treat me this way. You think you know everything, but guess what, Monika? You're just some dumb slut. You think because you're popular you can walk over everyone? Well, think again. Because when I'm done with you, not even your own parents will recognize you based on... Yeah, go ahead, Yuri. Show everyone what you're really like. Show Mark what you're really like.
Yuri glances around and notices that I've been in the room this whole time.
Mark, wait! It's not what you think! I'm not really like this!
Yuri's eyes frantically look around the room. Oh my... I wonder if we're gonna get a reverse of the original game here. Well, you'll see what I mean.
Here's a suggestion, Yuri.
Yeah. I still hate that line.
It'd be beneficial to your mental health.
Okay, yep. That seals the deal. She is officially Ice Queen Bitch number 2. Or 2.0. Because, yeah, you do not say anything like that. And, yeah, I mean, I know that Act 2 Yuri told Monika the same thing, but, yeah, well. Once again, Yuri rushes out of the room with tears in her eyes.
Monika, what the hell is wrong with you? You're going to blame me?
Yeah.
Why would you say something like that? Now you see how Yuri really is.
I can't believe this. Monika went out of her way to show the worst side of someone. Yeah, it's like, in a sense, this was a setup. I don't know how exactly, but she got her cards lined up. She played them as best she could. And then she just let the chips fall however she could. And sure enough, it all lined up in the end. You're disgusting. I turn to see that Sayori is also here, but is in a chair, hands tightly held against her ears. Well, yeah, I bet she's terrified beyond all reason right now. I need to find Yuri.
I wouldn't do that, Mark. You may not like what you see.
Go to hell, Monika. I rush out of the room without another word. You tell that asshole. Now, time to find Yuri. I run down the hall, looking through empty classrooms, trying to find her. I make my way to the end of the hall near the staircase. I can hear muffled sobs coming from upstairs. That has to be Yuri. I run upstairs as quickly as I can. Yuri... What the hell? Yuri... What I see makes me feel sick to my stomach. Oh my god.
Mark! You weren't supposed to see me like this.
My brain scrambles trying to comprehend what's before me. My thoughts are hazed, though, as my body takes over. I start to walk closer towards her.
No! Stay away from me! I'm a freak.
Yuri, please. Let me help you. Those scars look deep. Let me see if the nurse is still here.
No. Please don't. I don't deserve to be helped.
I take another step towards Yuri. Yuri, I just want to make sure you're okay.
You saw me. You saw me behave in such an indecent way.
Monica provoked you. Back at the club, Yuri completely lost her cool. But anyone would in a situation like that. Yeah, that's... Yeah, let's just say I'm going to be very conflicted given how I do like Monica. But then, like, yeah, Yuri... I care deeply about Yuri because it's like... She's like a... To me, she's like a kindred spirit in a way. Like, I have walked a path similar to yours. Like, maybe not exactly, but I've been seen as an outcast, a freak, as being weird, even being even being bullied and treated wrong by people. All because I would try to stay away from everyone because I felt like people would not accept me or they would judge me harshly if they knew who I really was. I would just try to be kind and courteous to everyone as much as I could, but otherwise I would stay out of everyone's way. And as a result, I became very shy and timid. So, maybe not the same circumstances that led me to that point, but I do feel for this girl, and it's like my heart breaks for her, you could say.
I have so many pent-up emotions inside of me. I was doing such a good job at bottling them up, but they just slipped out.
Well, you know what, Yuri? I used to do a good job at bottling up my emotions, too. But you want to know where that got me? Nowhere. Nowhere but pain and hurt. Like I said, at least with this Yuri, I can for sure say that I've walked, maybe not a whole mile in her shoes, but I've walked that same path. I've been in that same situation to some extent. I take another step towards her.
I said stay away!
She continues to back up away from me. I don't know what to do. She's locking herself in a cage when all I want to do is let her out. Well, the cage isn't to keep her imprisoned. It's to keep other people out.
Why, Yuri?
Tears crash around her. Trails of blood stain the floor tiles.
I can't help myself. I can't fight the urges. I can't control the pain I feel inside. I can't let people accept me for who I am. I can't accept me for who I am. Because who I am is a monster.
I take more steps and reach out for her.
Stop it! Don't you understand? I don't want to be helped. Just leave me alone!
Yuri turns around and runs away from me.
Wait!
I chase after her, but it's no use. She's too fast and I lose sight of her. I fall to my knees and hang my head down in shame. This was happening all the time. All this time. I should have known. I have to find her. Pressing my hands into the tiles, I heave myself onto my feet. I continue to rush down the hallways. As I turn the corner, I hit a small pink figure near the vending machines. Oof! Ah! Oh, Natsuki, I'm so sorry.
Watch where you're going. If you were going any faster, you would have knocked me right onto the ground.
I'm sorry, I noticed she has some coins in her hands. Natsuki, why are you holding...
Shut up! It's none of your business.
Alright, sorry. You don't have to be so defensive about it. Damn.
Alright, I'm sorry. My dad just hasn't been doing good financially, so any money, no matter how little, helps a lot.
Oh. Well, now I feel bad.
Forget I said anything. Why are you here? Shouldn't you be in the club?
Well, I was, but it's a long story. Anyways, I need to find Yuri.
Why? Are you stalking her?
Do I really come off as a stalker? Natsuki, seriously, I need to know where she is.
Well, I suppose I could help.
Really? How?
She lives down the road from me.
Alright, well. That seems to be like the general headcanon here. In Exit Music, they were kind of near each other as well, so... And who was it? I think in Found Love, I think someone also... It was either Yuri or Monica who knew where Natsuki's house was, so... But anyways, well, point being, it seems like that's the general consensus here, that a lot of people like to headcanon them as like living in the same area. I think Doki Doki New Eyes even kind of took it a step further. It had it be like they knew each other for, like, before joining the literature club.
Can you take me there? Like I'm gonna help you stalk her.
I facepalm. Natsuki, for real. For her safety, I need to find her.
Oh. Fine, since you put it like that, I'll help. But if I hear you did anything to her...
Yeah, can we go now? Natsuki leads me out of the school. What was that she said about her home situation? Well, I don't know if this mod is going to touch on that. Maybe it might. It sounded hard to believe her father doesn't make enough money to the point of having to look under vending machines. The way she brushed off the topic makes me feel like there's more to it. Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot more to it. If my suspicions here are right. I can't dwell on it too long. Right now, Yuri needs my help. Okay, well. And... okay, here is the unused house from DDLC. Natsuki stops and points to a house.
There it is.
Thanks, Natsuki.
Whatever, just keep this stay between you and me, okay?
She walks off and is eventually out of sight. I make my way to the front door. Here I go. I press against the doorbell. No answer. I knock loudly on the door.
Yuri, it's me, Mark. I just want to talk to you.
I look into one of the upstairs windows. Well, I guess you kind of can from here, if you get in the right spot. Inside, I can spot a purple figure peeking from behind the curtains. Quickly, she jerks the curtains shut. Well, this is definitely the right house. How can I convince Yuri to let me in? Light bulb! I bang on the door once more. Yuri, I brought our book! Is that really gonna help? I figured since we left the club early, we could read it somewhere else. Well, maybe he's onto something. Let's see. Okay, well, fine. Score 1 for MC. But I'm still winning. Okay, no. Within 30 seconds, I hear the sound of locks turning. I can't believe that worked. I can't believe it either. I thought it was just going to make her hole herself up in the house even more. Yuri slowly opens the door just enough to speak through it, but not enough for me to see inside.
Mark, you shouldn't have come here.
I know, but I couldn't help but be worried. Yuri, may I please come in?
No. You should leave.
Yuri starts to close the door, but I shove my hand into the small threshold. I'm sorry, Yuri, but I'm coming in whether you want me to or not. This is definitely considerable as a break-in at this point, but I don't care. If Yuri hurts herself, and I did nothing to stop it, I could never forgive myself. I can sense Yuri backing away from the door. Thank you. Once I walk into the house, Yuri stands before me. If I hadn't known any better, I'd have thought she'd been kept in here for weeks. Standing this close, I now see her arms clearly. Or I guess I should say, what's left of her arms. It's clear some of those cuts are fresh, and had been made recently. If I hadn't come, who knows what would have happened. Yuri.
I'm sorry that you have to see me like this. I'm not really comfortable sharing this side of me.
Then I won't make you share. I pull the book out of my bag. Infinite isolation. That is probably what Yuri wants right about now, given how she's feeling. How about we just sit down and read? In the short 2 days me and Yuri have read, we're already about a third through the book.
Okay.
For the first time, Yuri's eyes leave the floor and look up at me. Is it fine if we sit on the couch?
Yes, that's fine. Mark, do you mind if I go clean myself up very quickly?
Of course, Yuri. Take your time.
Thank you.
With that, she turns around and darts upstairs. What did I get myself into? I take a seat on the couch and wait. Why am I getting this ominous music? As I'm looking around the room, my phone vibrates in my pocket. Huh?
You can't run from me forever.
Who the hell? I type out a response. Who is this?
She doesn't deserve you.
What the fuck is going on? Who is this person? How do they have my number? Okay, I'm gonna call it here. It's Monica, and she threatened Sayori for it. As much as I hate to think about it.
Mark.
I jump out of my seat from the unexpected sound of Yuri's voice. Yuri is now standing on the other side of the couch. I'm lucky she's not some sort of assassin, because she could have easily snuck up behind me and snapped my neck.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, sure, if we ignore the fact that I have some crazy psycho stalker Ice Queen bitch after me for reasons I can't understand. Yeah, I was just waiting is all. I was just looking up on Reddit and Facebook, you know, just trying to check out what all the crazy people are up to today. She's now wearing a cotton sweater to hide her arms.
You didn't wait too long, did you?
Not at all. Come sit down. Or come sit down. I gesture for Yuri to sit beside me on my side of the couch.
Are you sure?
Well, how else are we supposed to read together, silly? Yuri takes a deep breath to calm her nerves. She then looks back at me.
I suppose you're right.
I know I'm right. With that, Yuri slowly steps to the side of the couch next to me and stiffly sits down. Yuri takes the book from my hand and opens it to the page we stopped at previously. As we continue reading the book, we are following the main character, as she is now forced to live the rest of her life in a small cell with no human contact. She is constantly haunted by visions of her dead husband, who was brutally hanged in front of her. She's also tormented by hallucinations of the guards laughing and mocking her. She's slowly starting to spiral into the dark pit of insanity and despair. I wake up in a cold sweat on the floor. I try to get up but fall back to the ground. Everything hurts. I don't know how much time has passed since Keanu was hanged. I stopped counting the night cycles after about a week. It just seemed pointless. I haven't gotten any sleep either. How can I sleep when every time I close my eyes I see his body swaying underneath that tree? Those damn bastards. I go over to the small sink in my room and run the cold water. You failure. Huh? I hear an ominous voice call to me. I look into the mirror and my reflection stares back. Suddenly it opens its mouth. You couldn't save him, it whispers to me. Do you know how important you were to him? And you let him die alone. No, I say. I shout back to my reflection. Stop it! You're not real! Oh, I'm as real as you are, it responds. I'm just a reflection of you, after all. She or I say that in a matter-of-fact way. My reflection continues to pester me. You can't hide from me. I am you. I scream at the top of my lungs. Get out of my head! I punch the mirror and it shatters. Glass falls to the floor. I stare down at the broken pieces and they stare back. It scares me. The emptiness in my eyes. With shaky hands I pick up a long shard of glass. I firmly grasp it in my right hand. I then turn to my left arm. Oh my... Is this where Yuri got the Is this... I don't even know anymore. It's like writing a book. My arm, the page, the glass, my pen. Clenching my eyes shut, I press the glass into my skin. It's cold. I begin to move my arm. In my panic, I jolt back and take my eyes off the book. I stare at Yuri, who fails to meet my gaze. I go back to the first day I read with her, when I told her that the main character reminded me of her. Yeah, and I'm starting to see, like, I guess it's no wonder she, like, kind of panicked when he said that. But yeah, I think it's pretty clear now where she kind of picked up on this habit of hers. I feel like I'm about to throw up. Tears begin to fill Yuri's eyes. I almost feel like I have an idea, but let's see what Yuri says.
Do you know why I shared this book with you, Mark? Because I don't know how to properly communicate with people.
So that's why I'm starting to wonder if this is just her way of trying to call off her help, but she clearly doesn't know how to. It's like she's literally crying out for help through this book. Or at least that's one way I see it.
I don't know how to speak my true feelings. I don't know how to show people who I really am. The only thing I know are books. I had hoped that by sharing this book with you, I could somehow show you a glimpse of my mind.
That you did. That you did.
But now I realize that was a tragic mistake. Because now you see who I really am inside.
Yuri. I reach out to grab her hand, but she jerks it away.
Tell me why you're really here, Mark.
What?
You didn't come because you wanted to read. You came because you felt sorry for me. You thought I would hurt myself, or even maybe.
She trails off. I ask myself, why did I come here? It's not like I was forced to. I only met Yuri 2 days ago. So why do I feel so obligated to help her? Oh my god. Here we go. I'm getting emotional again, but like I said, I know this isn't real or whatever, but I'm just kind of like afraid for her. Like, what is she gonna think when he says this? Like when he says, like, you're right, I did come here because I felt sorry, or I was scared that you were going to do something drastic. You're right, Yuri.
Huh?
She looks up at me. I stare deeply into her lavender eyes, and they pierce back. I didn't come here originally to read with you. I came because I was worried about you. Because I want to help you, Yuri. What you're doing is dangerous, and I want to help you stop.
But Mark, I can't. Don't you think I've tried? I know the dangers of it, but I can't stop myself no matter how much I want to. Why would now be any different?
Because now you have someone who clearly you mean the world to. Once again, I reach for Yuri's hand, except this time she doesn't move away. I hold her hand gently, wrapped in mine. Because this time, Yuri, you're not alone. I'm going to help you, and we're going to get through this. Together.
Why help me? all I've done is bring you into this world of hurt. And every time you show affection, I push you away and tell you to leave, yet for some reason you stay.
Because, Yuri, I love... Okay, Daniel, just... Maybe it would be too soon to go up and just upfront say I love you to her, but... Well, I still feel like saying that's what friends do is probably not the right thing to say. But who knows, I could be wrong. I mean, because that's what friends do. They stay by each other, no matter how hard life gets. I almost just told Yuri I love her. Well, because you do, but why did you stop yourself? Do I love her? I see. I guess you're still trying to process those emotions in your head, aren't you? Well, I guess clearly the fact that you ran here desperate to make sure that she was okay speaks volumes, but... well, I guess he needs to work that out for himself. I don't even know what love is.
I don't have any friends, Mark.
That's not true. Because now you have me, and I won't let anything or anyone hurt you from here on. Suddenly I remember something. Oh, I almost forgot.
Huh?
I have something for you. I grabbed my bag. You weren't at the club today, so we didn't get to share poems. I pulled out a sheet of paper from my bag. I wrote this. For you.
Me?
I know it's not in your preferred style, but it does express how I feel. I wrote it yesterday. I just had a weird feeling, and I wanted to express it.
I didn't write anything.
That's okay. Do you want to read it? She silently nods. With hesitant hands, she reaches for my poem. Okay, well, I'm definitely not going to do this silly voice right now. Amethyst Angel. You keep your secrets locked inside. There's a storm within your mind. I'll be the light to guide you through the dark. I promise that I will fix your broken heart. I know you're hurting deep inside. I promise it will be okay. I promise no one will ever hurt you. We can find that special day. You're too perfect for this world. Your heart is made of solid gold. I promise, pretty lady, that together we'll grow old. I went into your twisted world of pain so I could get you out. Such a beautiful person. You're the one I can't live without.
This...
Tears start to glide down her cheeks.
I just want to help you, Yuri.
Yuri looks down at her sleeve. I can see dark red stains forming in the cotton. She didn't clean her cuts. I reach down towards her sleeve. Her other hand quickly latches onto mine.
Mark!
Please, trust me. She slowly exhales, then hesitantly releases her grip on my arm. I slowly roll up her sleeve. Now that I'm this close, I can really see the damage. This poor girl has completely mangled her arm. Lines upon lines of cut all in a row. Some new, some old. Some shallow, some dangerously deep. Do you have a first aid kit? Yuri nods and then stands up. I get up and she takes me to the bathroom. I wake up and check the time. 10:40 a.m. It's Saturday, so usually I could relax after such a stressful week. Right, well, I think if this were the original timeline, we would have already discussed the festival, but, well, I guess obviously none of that matters right now. Unfortunately, that's not the case considering the events that occurred yesterday. With Natsuki's home situation and Sayori avoiding me, not to mention those mysterious texts I got. Man, so Sayori's even avoiding him now? I almost have a feeling that it has to have been Monica who did this to her. And of course Yuri. After I helped clean her cuts, it was getting late. I felt it would be best to go home, as I feared Yuri may implode from anxiety. Before I left, however, I asked her if she would like to go out today. I told her about a fairly new cafe that opened in downtown, and she said that she would like to go. I guess I should start getting ready then. Okay, yeah, well, like I said, the festival is like the least of our problems right now. Obviously, I guess the festival can just burn. I sit atop my bed and look through the window. It's a bit cloudy currently, but it looks like it's going to clear up later. A bit of pathetic fallacy, I assume, when nature imitates the mood of the situation. After completing my daily routine and eating breakfast, I look at the clock. I should probably start heading out now. I pull out my phone and send a text to Yuri. I'm glad I remembered to get her number before I left. Yep, good on you. I'm making my way over to your house now. Are you almost ready? Hopefully today will be nice and easy. I think Yuri deserves to have a normal day for once. I don't expect her to bring up her cutting, nor do I plan on bringing it up. I'm going to help her, but I have to wait for her to be ready to open up. That's right. You have to give her the time and patience that she needs. The best thing you can do is be patient and supportive of her. And when she feels ready, she will tell you everything that she feels is necessary.
Yes, I'm ready.
Perfect. I grab my wallet and keys and then exit my house. I arrive at Yuri's house and ring the doorbell. You know, I've also just realized Yuri does not seem to... She seems to live by herself. Immediately the door opens and Yuri steps out. Oh, hello. I'm just looking over it and it kind of reminds me a bit of her outfit in Our Castle Walls a little bit. Or one of her outfits. Well, I guess I can kind of see her wearing something like this.
Hello, Mark.
Have you been waiting by the door this entire time?
Well, you said you were on your way, and...
Oh. I guess you take things at face value as much as I do. I know, but it's nearly a 10-minute walk from my house to yours. If you were ready a long time ago, you could have texted me and I could have gotten here faster.
It must have slipped my mind.
Anyways, shall we go?
Yes, let's go.
Yuri beams at me. A pleasant sight to see after such a horrendous few days. And here's the town again. We walk until we make it to the downtown area. And there's that random girl again. This is the part of town full of all sorts of restaurants, shops, and clubs. You name it, it's here. Street performers and beggars also line the sidewalk on occasion. We walk by a guy strumming an acoustic guitar. And now here's Wonderfall! Yuri and I speed up our pace a bit. Just keep going, don't look back, don't make eye contact, and he'll leave us alone. I believe the cafe is just at the end of the block. Sure enough, we finally arrive at the cafe and step inside. Okay, here we are at Uncle Mugen's cafe. Yeah, if you've seen the original, let's just say, well, the pictures that used to be here, I don't totally agree with, but yeah, and I guess the people who made this mod kind of felt the same way. Because they replaced them with Psionica and Boardwalk picture. We stand in line and look over the menu above. Well, Yuri, you're the tea expert. What do you recommend?
There's so many kinds. I don't want to give you something you don't like.
Relax, Yuri. I'm not super picky. Maybe I'll get a green tea. It's good for stress.
That's a fine choice, Mark. Perhaps I will have their ginseng tea.
Ginseng of Konorano. Okay, no. I have no idea what that is, but if Yuri is getting it, it must be good. The only reason I know what ginseng is because of these stupid commercials with the dinosaur in a volcano. And yeah. We had George the Volcano and Tyrannosaurus Allen. Anyways. I turn to Yuri to see that she is talking to herself. Are you alright?
Yes, I'm okay. I'm just rehearsing my order.
Oh, I see. What?
You don't mentally prepare how you're going to phrase your order before ordering?
I usually don't, but kind of like what my aunt used to tell me. Sometimes talking to yourself can kind of help, like, get your... It's like you're able to set your story straight, get your thoughts in order, and... You know... Like, I guess Yuri kind of needs to do that herself. But as she said, it's only weird when you start kind of having conversations with yourself, so... You know? I can't say that I do.
Oh, this is... very embarrassing.
Now I've done it. I really need to get better at talking to girls. Hey, don't worry, I'm sure a lot of people practice their orders. Exactly, yes. Let's go with that.
Plus, I think it's kinda cute. What did you say just...
Next. That's us. How can I help you today? May I have a green tea? 1 green tea. The cashier writes down my order, then turns to Yuri. And what can I get for you, ma'am? I guess I didn't let Yuri finish her rehearsal.
I'll take the... tea.
Well, the cashier stares blankly at Yuri. Ma'am, we have a lot of different kinds of tea. He points at the menu behind him.
Of course. I'm sorry.
The cashier, clearly uncomfortable, looks at me. Someone shouts from behind us. Can you hurry it up already? Some of us have places to be. I turn and see there's a noticeably large line behind us. I look over to Yuri, who's turned as pale as a ghost. What do I do? Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna once again... Or, well... No, I guess I don't really need to make another save for this. Let me see here. So, I'm gonna call this cafe order. I guess I might as well do what I perceive as being all the bad options first. So we're gonna order for Yuri. At least, well, I'm going off of Blue Sky's logic where you basically want to help her kind of become a little more confident in herself and let her kind of do things by herself more and not have to come to her rescue every single time. But, well, this time, yeah, I guess I'm gonna go with we're gonna come to her rescue this time. I turn back to the cashier. She'll have a ginseng. He writes the order down. 1 ginseng, 1 green tea. Will that be all? Yes, thank you. I pay for our order, then escort Yuri to an empty table.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, Yuri. You don't have to apologize.
But those people were clearly angry at me. I embarrassed you, didn't I?
Yuri, look at me. It's okay. You didn't embarrass me. Also, who cares what those people think? Yeah, it's not like you're gonna see them again anyways. So one of my cousins told me. Like, if you embarrass yourself when you try to talk to people, like if you try to talk to random strangers at, say, McDonald's or whatever, and you make a complete fool of yourself, well then who cares? What are the odds that you're gonna see those same people ever again, you know? Like, not just the people you try to talk to, but if you end up embarrassing yourself in front of other people, what is this? Like, what are the odds that you're gonna find yourself meeting that exact same combination of people ever again? And I mean the exact same combination. Very slim, so it doesn't matter. In the end, it just doesn't matter, and plus, they're a bunch of strangers, so who cares what they think about you? If they want to be impatient and mad, then that's their own problem. Don't worry about what other people think. Yeah, exactly. If I could talk to Darlene again... Well, I guess without going too much into the story of Darlene, well, she was a girl I knew. We had somewhat of a bizarre relationship, so to say. She was one of my best friends. I considered her that. And she seemed to struggle a lot with what other people thought of her. And I do often think about her sometimes and wonder if she's doing okay. Just because it's like... Well, I spoke to a friend of mine once about her and kind of how she reacted to me and what she told me. He told me that it sounded as though she basically just... Like, in a sense, she lived off of people's opinions of her and how people saw her and what they thought of her. So, as a means to kind of try to keep certain people in her life, that she would try to behave a certain way as to, like, essentially, yes, keep them in her life. Otherwise, like, if she acts in a way that they don't like, it's like, okay, well, goodbye. So, in a way, that's oddly enough kinda sort of how Yuri was kind of hinting at earlier when she was talking about how she was worried about what people would think when they saw the true her. So, I guess you could say this pretty much just this just solidifies my point that the people who matter, or the people who should matter the most to you, no matter what happens, they're going to stay in your life. Because they love you for who you are. They love that person that you are. You shouldn't have to worry so much about acting a certain way you shouldn't have to worry about being a people or a crowd pleaser. So, exactly. I guess if I could talk to her again and basically just try to say one thing to her, I basically would say, just don't worry about what other people think of you. Just be yourself. If people leave your life, well then, fine. They probably were not good for you anyways. But the people who do matter will stick around no matter what. And I feel like, in a sense, well, I call him Mark, MC. The Mark in this game is pretty much like... He's kind of proving my point here. He cares a lot about Yuri. He's seen the good and the bad and bad sides of her, and he still wants to stay around because, well, he can't really, he's not sure about it yet, but he's not sure that he loves her or whatever, but he cares deeply about her. She matters to him because this person right here, this is who he cares about. Not some sort of act or whatever that she has to put on. He cares about her. Also, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have distracted you when you were practicing your order.
Thank you for ordering for me.
Don't mention it. The waiter comes by and hands us our tea. Anyways, let's enjoy...
Mark, can you stop saying that?
What? What? Why is she angry? Saying what?
Anyways.
Oh. Not gonna lie, but I'm guilty of saying that a lot as well. And I also say like a whole lot. That's why when I hear people say or mention words that they don't like hearing, like, anyways, whatever, I guess, things like that, I'm here like, oh my god, I hope that I'm not gonna make them angry at me. So like when she kind of got angry, I'm like, oh my god, what? And it's like, oh boy.
The proper term is anyway.
Oh. Okay. Well, anyway.
Anyway is an adverb, thusly cannot be plural.
So then I wonder why is it that people say anyways? But anyways, like that. And see, the problem is, I say it like that. So it's here like, wow, I've been saying it wrong this whole time. So then it really is anyway. Well, I guess I kind of use it interchangeably, but anyways is always like my go-to.
And while anyways may technically be a word, it's often used in colloquial language and is very informal.
I'm sorry, I guess.
I didn't mean to sound rude or anything. It's just...
Okay, I guess Yuri has her own inner English teacher voice that kind of speaks in her head.
Did I just raise my voice again? I'm sorry.
Yuri. It's fine. I appreciate you informing me on how not to sound informal.
Oh, you're welcome.
Now let's enjoy our tea before it gets cold.
Good idea.
We start to drink our tea in silence. I should strike up a conversation to break the awkward tension. That would be a good idea. Hopefully you do a better job than I ever could. So, Yuri, what made you join the literature club? You know, before it went to hell. Yeah, before Monaco was playing everyone like a harp from hell, you know.
Well, if I'm being honest, it was to meet people with similar interests as me. I thought maybe perhaps I could find people who had an equal fascination in storytelling.
So happy.
I had also hoped it would maybe help me not feel so secluded from the outside world. Maybe it could be a starting point to become more comfortable with human contact. I suppose it didn't exactly work out that way, however.
Yeah, because Monica was playing us like a harp from hell. Well, I wouldn't say that exactly. I mean, you met me, right? And I believe you and Natsuki, despite your differences, have become a little closer.
I suppose you're right.
Think of it this way, Yuri. As much as I hate to say it, if it weren't for Monica and the literature club, we wouldn't be sitting here sharing a cup of tea together right now. Yeah, and I really hate to think the Ice Queen bitch is the reason that they're here together. Essentially, she's the one who's trying to hook up with MC, but it's like, nope, you unintentionally became matchmaker and brought these two together. So imagine that.
Again, you're right.
See, the funny lady agrees.
Of course I am.
Sure, I'm sure. I lean back in my chair and rest my hands behind my head. I'm always right. Orale, we got a badass over here. Yuri and I share a small laugh. Well, we need her to laugh more, so...
I guess in the end, I accomplished my goal and made friends.
As we sip our tea, an idea strikes me. Light bulb! She's like, what?
Yuri, do you want to visit Sayori?
Okay, well,
I guess now we're gonna find out what happened in the aftermath of the badness that went down. Sayori? Yeah, yesterday she seemed really down because you weren't there. So what the hell happened?
I don't know anymore. See, well, today's Saturday. I don't know what the day was when Monica turned into the Ice Queen bitch completely and told her to go herself. Like, I don't know what day that was, so could that mean that there was still a day that went by where he still went to the literature club? Because he obviously didn't go back the other day.
Well, I don't want her feeling blue. I would love to pay Sayori a visit.
Great! She'll be happy to see both of us. I hope so. We finish our tea and head towards Sayori's house. We arrive in front of Sayori's house.
Mark, aren't you and Sayori neighbors?
Yep, that's my house right there. I point at the house right next to where we are. Anyway, let's go inside.
You're just gonna walk inside?
Relax, I texted her earlier saying I was coming over. Plus, Sayori and I have been friends for so long, it's completely normal for us to waltz into each other's homes. Kind of like Kimmy Gibbler in Full House when she just waltzes in like, "Hola, Tanneritos!" Okay, let's see. Sayori? It's a bit uncharacteristic for Sayori to not be rushing down to greet me. Okay, well, I'm lowering the volume, like now. Okay, because I still have PTSD from the original game, and I don't like where this is going. I walk upstairs to Sayori's room as Yuri hesitantly follows. I knock on the door. Sayori? Can I come in? Sayori doesn't answer.
Maybe she isn't home.
Sayori is always home. I knock on the door once more. You better be dressed because I'm coming in. I gently open the door. And... my God.
Mark? Yuri?
Daniel?
What are you doing here?
Well, Yuri and I were having tea together, and I thought it'd be fun to pay you a visit.
I see.
This isn't right. Bringing Yuri here should have made Sayori happier, but it seems I've accomplished just the opposite.
You have a lovely home, Sayori. Thank you, Yuri. Is it just you here? Yep, my parents are always on business trips, so it's just me and Mr. Cow.
Yep, there he is. Sayori points to a stuffed cow at the foot of her bed. Wait. I think I've seen a meme of this, where she says, yeah, Mr. Cow, and then it has to be either Yuri or Monica who's like, wait, Mr. Cow, shouldn't it be...
It's Mr. Cow! Sayori? Yes? That's a female. What?
Okay, no, well, I guess it's easy to kind of, like, make that meme independent of this mod, but yeah, it just reminded me of that.
Males don't have udders. Is that so?
Well, this is fun, right? I'm learning! Even though I already learned this, like, in elementary school. All of us together and... Oh my... Don't tell me that she's stalking us! My senses cut short by a phone ringing. Oh. I reach for my pocket, but it's not mine. Well, it still could be her. I turn towards Yuri.
I'm sorry, but I have to take this.
Okay, well... Yuri steps outside and answers the phone. Now it's just me, Sayori, and Mr. Cow. Mrs. Cow? Well, where's her husband? Shouldn't it just be Miss Cow? We stand in awkward silence for a moment.
So you and Yuri, huh?
What? Wait, Sayori. I don't know what you've got going on in your head, but I promise it's not like that.
No, it's not!
You can't hide your feelings, Mark.
Search your feelings, you know it to be true.
It's obvious since day one, you and Yuri have been falling for each other.
Well, so Sayori has picked up on this very well. My face is red hot right now. I'm about to have a meltdown. Sayori must have turned her AC off. You know, to save on the costs. I don't know what you mean.
It's really great seeing you make friends.
Oh my god, here we go.
I'm really happy for you.
Now I know something isn't right. Yes, because... Well, obviously for anyone who's played the vanilla DLC, we know why she feels this way. Because she feels like she's just a burden on him, and that he'd be happier without him, and that anyone else would literally be better than her, and... Basically, the reason why I relate to Sayori so much is because oftentimes my depression has done the same thing to me. Like even now, as I think I mentioned in the first video, I cut some commentary out, but I think I left part of it in, but where I've expressed that I've often felt like I'm a burden to certain people, and like in a sense, like maybe that's why some certain people like abandon me in a way, or they stop talking to me because maybe they're tired of me. I did something wrong and they don't want to speak to me anymore. And other times it's like I feel like, well, maybe I am being a burden on these people, so maybe I should leave them alone, since it seems like I don't want to make them hate me or anything. And well, depression can be very, very troubling. It's like you're literally at war with yourself. Something is bothering her. Sayori, what's wrong? I step closer to her. I know when something's up with you. You can't hide it from me. Sayori gives me an empty laugh.
That's where you're wrong, Mark. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time.
What do you mean?
This isn't good. You weren't supposed to see me like this.
I feel like I've been hit by a semi-truck. Flashbacks to when I caught Yuri cutting herself in the hallway fill my mind. I try to shake it off. Sayori, whatever it is that you're going through, let me help you.
You don't seem to understand, Mark. I don't want to be helped. Help is for people who deserve it. I still can't wrap my brain around what she's talking about. Sayori, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand. What are you saying? You're just going to make me spell it out for you, huh? Mark. For all my life, I've struggled through very bad depression. I've had voices in my head telling me that I don't deserve happiness. Why do you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days I feel as if there's nothing worth waking up to. Why go to school when I have no future to look forward to? Why wake up when every day the pain grows more and more? Why wake up when I try to see the silver lining, my vision is blocked by rain clouds? Tell me why I should wake up just to put on a mask to hide myself. Why make friends when all they do is use you to feel better about themselves? When you're seen as the clumsy one or the goofy one. The one who can never show any other facial expressions besides a forced smile. Why wake up when the one person who was the sole reason for me going through all this pain is in love with another girl? My heart drops. It feels like my entire world has been hit with a big avalanche. My entire friendship with Sayori. I've been blind this whole time. What? I pull Sayori into my arms. I hold her softly. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I never knew, Sayori. I promise you from now on I will do everything I can to make every day even a little bit better for you. Mark! Sayori isn't holding me back. She presses her hand against my chest and pushes me away. You don't understand. No one understands. I don't want people to worry about me. You want them to stop worrying about you. Because you feel like, in the end, you shouldn't matter to them. It's bittersweet, you know. That word feels like a knife twisting in my chest. Sometimes it feels nice, and other times it feels like a hammer being smashed against my head. It all makes sense to me now. Why you came here. It's the world wanting to punish me. I know I deserve to be punished, but this is beyond torture. Seeing you here, seeing you with Yuri, it's like my eyelids are being forced open while I have to watch a spear going through my chest. And the person driving it through me is the one I trusted the most. Every waking moment, every heartbeat is a cry in pain. Sayori, I don't have even the slightest clue as what to do here. I step close to Sayori and gently grip her shoulders. I know I can never understand what's inside her head. And I know I haven't treated you the best I could have all these years. But I still know what's best for you. I give Sayori a sad smile. And I promise that I will always be by your side. But, Mark... I remember how Yuri once told me, the eyes are the window to the soul. And as I look through Sayori's windows, I peer down into her broken soul. There's only one thing for me to say. Sayori. You're really gonna make me say this. Well, as you know, I always hate saying this to her.
Especially because when I played the original DLC, and of course, me being a completionist, I had to say every option. Of course, I had to say that one to her, and just watching that whole scene, I just felt so awful inside. Like, I just felt like, oh my god, what have I done? Well, it's like, yeah, the game literally just took away my only other option. Of course, the only other option would have been, I love you, or whatever, but of course you can't say that to her because he's in love with Yuri, so it wouldn't matter in the end unless you're going to be lying about being in love with someone, and then you're just going to end up with a lot of more broken hearts in the way, so you're going to end up with 3 broken hearts if you tell Sayori that you love her and you're in love with Yuri, and just... I just don't like this. You'll always be my dearest friend. Of course, that's not what Sayori wants to hear exactly, at least I don't think so, if I'm going off of the original game. And clearly she's here, like, saying that you're the only person that, like, meant anything to me, and, well, I feel miserable because you're in love with another girl, and it's, like, pure torture and agony seeing you happy with her. Yeah, I told you.
Get out. What? Get out of my house! Go away! Now! Sayori... I said get out!
She grabs a glass paperweight that's sitting on her desk and throws it at the wall beside me. Shattered glass ricochets off the wall. I frantically sprawl out of her bedroom and downstairs. Like I said, I just hate having to say that. Because it almost seems like no matter what game it is, I always end up feeling like an awful person for saying that to her and just breaking her little heart. But then, I mean, it's almost like I said, well, if you say that you love her and then you really don't, you're just going to break her heart, then you're going to break Yuri's heart, and then you're going to end up heartbroken, so... Nobody wins in this situation, and I hate it. I run all the way outside. Yuri follows me, now off her phone.
Mark, what's wrong?
We'll talk about it later. I look back. Sayori slams her front door closed. We shouldn't have come here, Yuri. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Mark. As you said, Sayori has been acting differently recently. Perhaps she didn't mean whatever she said.
I don't know about that. I think back to what she said. My best friend, suffering through depression her whole life. And I've been oblivious to it. I made fun of her for sleeping in or being super clumsy. It's all my fault. I turn to Yuri and realize she's been staring blankly at me this whole time. Sorry. I just got lost in thought.
You know what helps me clear my head? I usually go to the local bookstore and read.
Well, that's where Monica was that other time. Oh, and, well, I would like to think that it wasn't a threatening phone call from Monica being like, I'm watching you, please get away from him now. If it was, I imagine she probably would have already left at this point.
Of course you do.
I smiled at Yuri.
I think I could use a good book to clear my head. We start off to the bookstore. Have you ever seen a more beautiful place, Mark?
Can't say I have. Admittedly, before I met Yuri, I wouldn't be caught dead next to a bookstore. But as I've grown closer to her,
I've actually started to build up a passion for reading. Mark, do you see that?
I follow Yuri's finger to what she's pointing at. It's an advertisement for a book. A Sakura's Guide? I shake my head. What's that?
It's supposedly a sequel to Infinite Isolation.
Oh. Interesting.
It's about the main character's plan to escape, and the spirit of her late husband guides and protects her.
Oh, wow. What's the thing about the Sakura?
The husband was hanged on a Sakura tree. Are you not paying attention to the book?
The book said Cherry Blossom. Well, it's actually the same thing.
They're the same thing, Mark.
Looks like it's my turn to be embarrassed. I changed the subject. Well, why don't we buy it? Or why not buy it? Okay, yeah, like I said, it's like, no fault to any grammatical errors and whatever, but especially since, I mean, it's like this mod came out a while back, so, you know. Once we're done with our current one, we can start the next one.
I wish we could, but unfortunately it hasn't been released yet.
I see.
Only the title's been shown, and the author hasn't mentioned anything else about the book.
Other than that little synopsis you gave us? Wow, I can't imagine anything more annoying than an author teasing a project but never revealing anything else about it. Huh. Well, with that said, would you like to continue reading? So, well, since I don't really know much about the development cycle for Fallen Angel, was that a dig at the dev team who worked on this?
I would love to.
Luckily, the bookstore has a copy of the book. I grab it and we sit at an empty table. Yuri and I go through the next few chapters in silence. Okay, please tell me that Monica is not going to be here. Yeah, it's like, I'm going to be back to being scared of Monica again. It's getting late. Would you like for me to walk you home?
My, what a gentleman.
My face grows hot. I guess the bookstore keeps their AC off as well. It seems like everybody's trying to save money by keeping their AC off. Don't mention it. As we walk out, the boy at the register calls out to us.
Hey, Yuri!
Or, hey, Yuri! Yuri sees the cashier waving at us. Quickly, she rushes out the store. What? I follow suit. What? Yuri, are you okay?
Did you see how everyone was looking at me?
How did he know your name?
I come here a lot, and sometimes he tries to start a conversation.
Oh. I wonder why.
I try not to come whenever he works. Even if I'm really into a book, I'll wait to purchase it until he's off shift.
Did he do something to you? I'll go over there right now and...
No! He's never done anything besides make light conversation.
Then why do you avoid him?
To avoid conversation.
Well, I knew Yuri was introverted, but I must admit this is a tad bit absurd. Well, Social anxiety can make people do a lot of crazy things. She goes out of her way and even inconveniences herself just to avoid a single interaction. We walk the rest of the way home in silence. Okay, well I guess maybe he's just trying to be friendly. I was here thinking like, well maybe it's because he likes her and he wants to kind of, you know, like try to ask her out or something, but maybe that's not totally the case. I could be wrong. Thanks for hanging out with me today, Yuri. I start to head back home.
Mark, wait.
What is it?
It's very late.
Huh? I'll be fine walking home. Thanks, though.
But Mark, would you like to... If you want it, you could...
Are you asking me if I want to spend the night? Is this for real? I would never have imagined that Yuri would ever ask me a question like that. Or any girl for that matter. I can think of one specific girl who would probably ask to spend the rest of her life with you. In probably the worst way possible, though. Alright, Mark, play it cool. Sure.
Really? Really?
Yeah, maybe we can even read more of the book. And maybe you can show me how to make tea as well, or something. My eyes dart towards the sidewalk out of nervousness. And please don't tell me that you keep your air conditioner off to save on costs, because that seems to be a problem throughout this whole entire city. The school, Sayori, the bookstore, I mean, it's like, what is wrong with you people? Clearly. Yuri then smiles softly.
I'd like that.
We both walk inside Yuri's house.
I'll start the tea.
Okay, I'll get the book. I don't have the book. Uh-oh. I keep it in my backpack, which you don't have. Yuri comes back.
Is something wrong?
I don't have the book. Well, shouldn't Yuri have it? I mean, she had her own copy of it, right? Yuri softly giggles at my distress.
Mark, did you forget where we are? We're in my house. This is my house.
She gestures to a large bookcase in the living room. Ah. I walk over and sure enough I find the book titled Infinite Isolation. I pluck it from the shelf and take a seat on the couch. Yuri comes back, tea in hand, and places the teacups before us on the table. We get in our normal reading positions and continue to read for a little while. And now it's nighttime. Are you ready to go to bed? Yuri rubs her eyes and nods. Alright, we'll stop here. I close the book and stand up. I guess I'll be sleeping here.
Mark, you're my guest. What kind of host would I be if I let you sleep on the couch?
Well, where else am I going to sleep? I get an anxious feeling welling up in me. Is she going to ask me to sleep with her? Yuri is asking me. Yuri? Yuri is asking me to... Alright, Cochino, she's not asking you like that. Well, okay, well, you know what I mean. It's innocent. In her bed? Hold up, Yuri, are you about to say what I think you're about to say?
I'm sorry, it was a stupid question. I shouldn't be pushing this too far. Maybe it's best if you go home. I'm sorry I forced you to spend time with me.
Oh my... Don't say that. Yuri, again, you're overthinking things. You didn't force me to do anything. He did it because he wanted to. I'm glad I'm here. And I suppose if you're okay with it... She looks up at me.
I have a big bed, so we won't lay so close to each other.
Yuri gives me a small grin. We both share a small laugh, and then head upstairs. Act 2, A Cure for Pain. Why does this look like the Seal of the Exalt 2 weeks later? Oh dear. Okay, well, I think this is about as good a spot as any to maybe stop the video, and it's a little bit longer than the last one too, now that I think about it. Well, depending on how I edit the thing, it's probably about the same length, but whatever. So, okay, well, I'm still definitely curious, like, so what's happened with the literature club? Like, I mean, well, you know, like, obviously it seems as though MC and Sayori have had a bit of a falling out here. And I still don't know what's gonna happen with Ice Queen Bitch 2.0. And yeah, man, we still have Natsuki. The game seems to be hinting that something's probably gonna happen with Natsuki. But I guess we shall see, so thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with whatever else I do. Stay golden, and later, folks.